Well, let's take our Bibles one more time this week to Psalm 86:7 for promise number 207. And while you're turning and getting ready, let me just invite you to the Journey Baptist Church this Sunday, 10:15 a.m. is our morning worship service. Love to have you join us. We're going to have a great time in God's Word, singing, the whole works, and we hope that you would enjoy that with us. You are invited. Back to our promise number 207, found in Psalm 86:7. And let me just share with you the promise. When problems arise, we can call on God and He will answer us. That's the promise. We know that when problems arise, we can call on Him and He'll answer us. Now, before we come to this promise in verse number 7, the psalmist confesses a daily relation and habit of calling on the Lord. That's kind of key to this, because I think a lot of times people think, well, God said if I ask Him for something, He'll give it to me. But that's not exactly what He says. This psalmist is in a right relationship with the Lord that involves hearing from the Lord, obeying the Lord. When I make mistakes, I bring them before the Lord. The Lord energizes me. When I'm in trouble, He helps me. When I'm walking in His plans, He energizes me and guides me. We're talking about a relationship here. I think a lot of people assume that God is more like one of those shows we'd watch where you get three wishes and you can just rub the genie and he gives us what we think we need or what we think we want. But that's not the case at all. We don't just get to yell out to God, hey God, don't you see my problems? Fix it. We have to be in a relationship with Him. We have to recognize who He is. I mean, we treat God as if we're God and He is subject to us. And so we need to change that. Now that we're in trouble, or now that He's in trouble in our psalm, He knows, because I have a right relationship with the Lord, He even has a history with God that is pleasing to the Lord. The promise, like I said, that he can come reasonably before the Lord and see the Lord fulfill that need. The promise isn't for anyone who tries to claim it. That's where we frustrate our own understanding of God. I think a lot of people out there are assuming that God promised He'd do this and God says He'll do that. And there's a context and a contingency in all of those promises. And so only those who have met the contingency that God has given to us can expect God to move in. So many treat God as, like I said, their personal genie, or maybe Santa Claus, that forever lives to fulfill all of our desires and all of our demands. We're talking about the God of the universe here. We are talking about the one who owns it all, controls it all. He created it all, and everything is about Him and for Him. It's all His, and we are subject to Him. And we owe Him everything. He owes us nothing. And yet He says, if you'll walk with me, I'll be that God that you can count on. To those who choose a relationship with Him over all other pursuits and pleasures, and get to know what this is like, listen, God is ready to come to the rescue of the faithful when trouble comes. Let that be an encouragement to you. If you're in trouble today, just lean into the relationship with the Lord you already have. If you don't have a relationship with the Lord, begin a relationship with the Lord. Call unto the name of the Lord, and He will come, and He'll save you, and He'll set you in a good place and help you make something of your life. He'll do all that, but we have to genuinely come to Him on His terms. So let that be an encouragement to you today. Come to the Lord on His terms, and then receive from the Lord as we live out a right relationship with Him. I hope that helps you enjoy a great week, a great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you at the Journey this Sunday at 10:15.